Hello everybody, this is Jack from tofluency.com. Welcome to this English lesson. Now, know that I am recording this live, so if you're watching the replay, you'll hear me talk about the chat box a lot. You'll hear me make mistakes. And that is because I am doing this lesson live, but you're going to get a lot out of it. And in this lesson, we're going to talk about sports. I have a few questions for you, so if you are watching the replay, please answer them in the comment section. If you are here live, use that live chat box that a lot of people are doing. So thank you for you if you are doing this. Let's talk about sports. I'm really excited to talk about this subject because I love sports and I have knowledge. You know, I grew up in the UK and I've been living in America for 5 years. So I have experience of sports in both countries. And we're going to compare sport in the UK and in the US today. I'm going to introduce some idioms. I'm going to ask you some questions. And we'll talk all about sports. But first, I just want to tell you about this. Now, this is a post that I wrote 2-3 months ago, and it goes in depth, step by step, on how you can learn English. So go to fluency.com/how-to-learn-English. There is a link in the description that makes it easy for you. But this goes through what you need to do to learn English fast. And I have videos at the bottom of the post on this subject too. So please do check that out. Now, what I'm going to start with in this lesson is talking about the national sport. Okay? So, we're going to talk about the national sport of the UK and the national sport of America. If you don't know what a national sport is, it is this. The national sport of a country is intrinsically part of a nation. So it's part of that culture. It's what defines the culture. It's not the most popular sport. It can be, but it's not talking about the most popular sport. For example, the most popular sport in England is football or soccer. However, do you guys know, and please try to guess this, do you guys know what the national sport of England is? And also what the national sport of the US is? Okay, so I'm going to wait a couple of minutes to see what people say. What is the national sport of England and what is the national sport of the US? Remember, it's not the most popular sport, although it can be, but it's what is part of the culture. It's like the identity of the country. It's the identity of the country. Manuel, I'm just going to bring up the comment section while I'm waiting for this to come in. Sorry, wrong page. I just need to change a couple of things and go to that. Okay. So, this is the comment section. This is for those watching live. I'm going to read the last two comments. Manuel says, I like baseball. I don't know if it's played in the UK. Junior says, I love soccer. VJ says the national sport of India is cricket. A national sport of UK is also cricket. Very cool. Well, I'm going to close that down. Fernanda says cricket too. And then I'm going to give you the answer. Guys, very good. The national sport in England is cricket. Okay? It's cricket. And this is a picture. You can see a picture of cricket here. Now, cricket is a strange game because my wife, she finds it very, very strange. Very odd. You can say odd. Because you can play a game of cricket for 5 days and you can still draw. Or the game can still be tied, where there is no winner. So you can play for 5 days and there's no winner. My wife finds that very, very strange. Now, I grew up watching cricket. I mainly watched it at the local cricket club. So about a mile away from our house, there was a cricket pitch and there was a bar, okay, or a pub. The reason why I grew up watching cricket there was because watching cricket is a very social event. It's all about meeting your friends and drinking lots of beer. That's a very, typical thing to do. Not everyone does that. Lots of people enjoy the sport, but it's all about being part of your local community and watching cricket. So I grew up watching cricket, but I didn't play it that much. I played about twice competitively at school. And to be honest, I didn't really enjoy it too much. I preferred football. I wanted to play football every day. So even though it's our national sport, it's not the most popular sport. And everybody at our school wanted to play football. The boys anyway. We all wanted to play football. The teachers tried to make us play cricket, but didn't really happen that much. Okay, let's go back to this. I'm going to talk about the national sport for the USA. Before I do, let's just bring up the comments. So I've got a few people saying, in the US, the national sport is baseball. National sport of England, football, is soccer. It's the most popular sport, but as I said, the national sport is cricket. Fernanda says American football for America. We have cricket in Pakistan. Sebastian says, have you been to Wembley Stadium to watch a game? I went a long time. I've been a few times, a long time ago. I'm going to talk about that later, actually. Robert Britton's here. Good. I have a baseball or football for USA. I imagine baseball is more intrinsic. I love extreme sports, okay? So extreme sports. Running, climbing, swimming, cycling. Robert says, don't people get very tired after the first 24 hours, let alone 5 days? Yeah, so talking about cricket, it can be 5 days. But you have one team batting and one team fielding. When you're batting, you might rest for 2 days. If two of your guys are really good, you might not bat for 2 days, so you're resting a lot then. Let's have a look. For Indians, cricket is not only a game, it is a religion for us. Great. Love that comment. Cricket is new to me. It's new to a lot of people. Don't worry too much about it. Didn't get the word draw. Yeah, so if you are a team, you can either win, lose, or draw. That's British English. In American English, you can say tie. So let's reveal the national sport for the US. And I've got a good story about this. It is baseball. Again, baseball is not the most popular sport in the US. I think it is American football. Baseball, I think, is number 3. But it is part of the culture. And we're going to look at some idioms that come from baseball and cricket soon. But first, I want to talk a little bit more about baseball. Now, baseball to me it's very similar to cricket, and I really like it. I like watching baseball, but the experience of watching baseball in America, from my experience, is very similar to watching cricket in the UK. People like to drink and eat when they watch baseball. They don't focus so much on the game. They just like to drink and eat. And specifically, children go crazy because it's usually the time when their parents buy them lots of sugary drinks, lots of snacks. So they're eating, donuts and pretzels and candy and drinking Pepsi and cola, and they just go crazy from all the sugar. Now, I was also one of the first times I watched baseball in the US was in a bar, and I was with my wife, and I think it was the first time I was visiting her in her hometown. Now, we went to a local pub, and we were watching baseball, and I kept turning to her and asking her questions about baseball. And when she doesn't know anything about a sport or whatever, she's just silent. She doesn't say anything. And at first, I thought she was ignoring me. So I kept saying, how many innings are there in baseball? You know, what happens if he catches it over here? And she's just silent. And a load of people were watching or listening to our conversation. And you could tell. I noticed that the guys wanted to tell me all about baseball. So I still don't know a lot about baseball, but little by little, I'm learning. So I've got a quick question, then we'll open up the comment section again. So what is the national sport in your country? So we've had a few people say it's cricket in India, cricket in Pakistan. What's the national sport where you are? Please let me know. Which sport is part of your culture the most? So let's bring up the comment section. We'll see what people have been saying. Let's have a look. Tural says, I love soccer. I support FC Barcelona for 7 years. Okay, let's use the present perfect here. I've supported, or I've been supporting. I've been supporting Barcelona for 7 years. We're going to look at that later, actually. Robert says, so people can sleep in the middle of a game. Yep, and people do. People sometimes drink as well. Giuseppe says, do not forget the sport of kings. Interesting. What is the sport of kings? Sebastian says, what have... I'll move on. Oh, Manuel says, you're from Venezuela and it's baseball. Very cool. Alexander, this is Alex from Brazil. Finally, I'm seeing this live. Good to have you, Alex. Good work you're doing with these classes. Thank you so much. Heidi says, I don't have a lot of information about sports. It's fun to watch sport, but I don't like football. VJ says, hockey in India. Very cool. El Salvador is soccer. Fernanda says, both are very boring. Yeah, baseball and cricket are very boring to those who haven't grown up with them. It's difficult to like a game like baseball when you haven't grown up playing and watching it. Baseball is also, they talk a lot about statistics. Always talking about batting averages and strike rates. I don't know these statistics, but they're always talking about the stats of the game. Football in Egypt, very cool. Brazil is soccer, yep. Robert says lacrosse. Very cool, although it does not have big audiences like hockey. Robert, are you from Canada? I think you are. Please let me know. Spain, it's football. This is a great comment. Ania says, I think in Poland, it depends on who won recently. That's great. I love that. That happens a lot. You know, if, for example, in Spain, when I lived in Spain, Formula One was very popular when Alonso was winning. And so was tennis when Nadal was winning too. Egypt is football. Football again. Chile's football. Brazil is soccer. Giuseppe says riding is the sport of kings. Great. And Alex says, I hate to say, but soccer. Very cool. Yeah, Robert is from Canada. How about handball? Yeah, handball is popular in certain European countries. I don't know anything about handball. If you're watching the replay, leave a comment below and tell me what your national sport is. Now we're just going to change the pace a little bit now. Talk about some idioms. Because these are the national sports and the part of the culture, there are a lot of idioms that come from cricket and baseball. I'm just going to share a couple of these really quickly. So in cricket, to be stumped means no idea how to solve a problem. So specifically in cricket, to be stumped means that you are out of the game. And in very simple terms, it means you don't have an idea to solve a problem. So you'll hear people say in the UK, I'm completely stumped. I don't know. I'm completely stumped. So that's a good idiom to know. Another one, which is really popular, is to be hit for six. And this just means to be surprised in a big way. So here's an example. Losing his job, hit him for six. Hit him for six. I have a couple of baseball idioms. To throw a curveball. And this means to surprise someone. He threw me a curveball when he asked about our finances. So it surprised me when he asked about our finances. And the last one, to hit a home run. And this means to succeed. I hit a home run with my presentation. They loved it. I hit a home run with my presentation. They loved it. Okay, let's quickly go back to the comment section. In Saudi Arabia, it's football. It's amazing for all countries. Don't forget basketball. Yes, basketball. Spain won the European Championships recently. So I imagine that basketball is very popular right now in Spain. Giuseppe says, in Italy, it's cycling. Do you like Basketball League from the USA? It's okay. I watch a little bit of basketball. I used to play basketball at school. That is the most popular American sport in the UK. So we never play baseball. We don't play American football, but we do play basketball. Now, what I'm going to do next, okay, we're going to have a little look at two quotes. Now, one quote is something that my teachers told me all the time. And another quote is something that I learned in sports studies. So I studied sports at school, or in high school, sorry. And I remember our teacher telling us this quote, okay? And this is going to compare the attitude towards sport in both the UK and the US. So let's have a look at the first one. And again, this is what people told me a lot at school. Teachers always said this. It's not the winning, but the taking part that counts. It's not the winning, but the taking part that counts. So, this is trying to say, don't be competitive. Winning isn't important, but trying the sport is important. So our teachers told us this all the time at school. And the idea is to try and get more people to participate in sports, especially for young people, for children. So it's not the winning, but the taking part that counts. Now, here is a quote from an American sports team, okay? This is the owner of an American sports team. The fans are behind you, win or tie. The fans are behind you, win or tie. So the fans support you. They're going to encourage you if you win or tie. Now, this is basically saying, do not lose. The fans are going to hate you. They're not going to support you if you lose. So this is the opposite. It's saying that winning is the most important thing. Okay? Winning is the most important thing. Now, it's a kind of a stereotype that people say in the US, it's all about the competition when it comes to sport. Because this is true as well in the UK. However, I do think there is a difference in terms of competitiveness in sports in the UK and the US. So, I just want to ask you a quick question now. And this will be interesting to see. What sports did you play at school? And was it competitive? So when you played sports at school, was it competitive? Did the teachers care about winning? Was it really important that you won? And what sports did you play? So I'm just going to talk a little bit more about that while I'm waiting for you guys to answer. If you're watching the replay, again, leave your comments below. I'll read these after the lesson. But I'm just going to talk about some of the sports that I played. So I played mainly football. I also played a little bit of cricket. And in terms of daily activities, we played rugby as well, which is also a very popular sport in the UK. Now, as a team, we cared about winning. But at school, the teachers tried to play down the importance of winning. Like I said before, they said it's not the winning, but the taking part that counts. Winning isn't important. It's about being active and doing it. However, as a team, we wanted to win. Now, I also played football on a junior team, which was separate to the school. This was a completely different experience. The parents and the managers really cared about winning. They really wanted us to win. It was very competitive. So there is a difference there. In school, it wasn't competitive. The teachers said winning isn't important. Outside of school, on the local team, the managers and the parents were super competitive. They wanted us to win. They really wanted us to win. So I experienced both extremes, being really competitive and not competitive. So I'm going to bring up the comment section now and see what people are saying. Yes, we have a couple of people saying the difference between soccer and football, very confusing. Soccer is, I can't say it without saying it. Okay, you kick a ball, round ball, this is soccer. We call it football in Europe. But in America, they call football something else. We're going to see what that is later. Sebastian said, who's your favourite player from England's team? I don't have one at the moment. Manuel says, I used to play ping pong and also basketball. I used to play volleyball. I'm very short. And my teacher only selected the tallest girls. That's Elena. So this is saying that it was really competitive. The teacher wanted to win. Fernanda says, I swam and did some gymnastics. Basketball, but now I don't play any sport. Volleyball. Robert says, winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. Yeah, this is a great quote from, say, Vince Lombardi, Green Bay Packers. There was a similar quote by Bill Shankly. He was a football manager in England. He also used to play for the team I support. We're going to see that very soon. And he said, winning isn't as important as life and death. No. I'm going to have to find this quote, basically. But I'll come back to it. But he basically said, it's more important than life and death. It's much more important than that. So again, it's saying like super competitive. Gemma says soccer too. Alim says you are the best teacher. That is very kind. Thank you. If you like this lesson, please give it the thumbs up, the like button, and then please share it as well on Google+, Twitter, VK, Facebook. Anything else you use? Pababia says, hello from Germany. Thank you. Hello from Brazil. And Anna says, people can't play football in Russia. When you say can't, do you mean it's not prohibited, or they're not very good at it? Okay. Expand on that. I'm intrigued. Sebastian and I play football, and sometimes I go juggling in the park and cycling with friends. Very cool. Very cool. So, I want to introduce something else now as well. got a couple more things to go through. Two interesting things. And the first one is this. Take a look at this picture. So, this is a game of American football. In America, they just call it football. However, it is college football. College is basically university. If you don't know that, it's just university. And look at the stadium. This is huge in America. It's something I didn't realize. It is huge. So where my wife went to university, she went to university in Athens, Georgia. And I think there are about 40,000 students that go to the university. The town is 120,000 people. But they have a stadium that has, I think, 90,000 people. 90,000 people. Nearly 100,000 people. And when they play football, American football, the stadium is full. People come from all over Georgia to watch the game. It is so big here. It's on TV. They get millions of people watching the games on TV. And this is college sports. For me, it's incredible. Where I went to university, we played football. And our football team probably had 100 people watching them. It's not popular. There's no money. There are no fans. But American football is huge. And this is something that just blew me away. I was so shocked at the size of it. And people love it. It's their team. They support college football over professional football. People just go crazy for it. So that is a huge difference between the UK and the US. Not only that, it's not just football, it's basketball as well. So everybody loves college basketball. And also, when I was visiting Kate, we went to go see the gymnastics team. Now remember, this is a college gymnastics team. And they had about 9,000 people watch them compete. Gymnastics. It's just crazy. College football and basketball and gymnastics is huge in America. It's something that I think is quite unique. In the UK, as I said, there is no money. There are no fans for university sports. But in America, it is huge, huge. I'm just going to go back to the comment section. I've got a couple of good comments here. So Junior says, will you come to Brazil to watch the Olympics? Nope, I'm not going to go. Although, no, I can't go. Baseball, I think baseball and American football. And just Sebastian says, I see the picture and it reminds me of the movie Forrest Gump. So this is a good example of remember and remind. It reminds me of of Forrest Gump. It reminds me of Forrest Gump. Yeah, he played American football and he just kept running. He kept running. And Papa Bear says, in Germany, the national sport is football. Very cool. Now, I've got one more thing I want to share with you. And this is talking about me. I support Preston North End. Okay? So this is the football team that I follow, that I support. And when you're talking about your favourite team, use this construction. I support Barcelona. I've supported Barcelona for 7 years. Personally, this is my team. I support Preston North End. This is a football team who are in the second division in England, the division below the Premier League. They have a lot of history. They have lots of famous players from the past. And I support them because they are my hometown team. They are my hometown team. So please let me know in the comment section who you support. Just put I support and then tell me your favourite, let's keep this to football, your favourite football team, or soccer, if we're using the American word. So say, I support, and then let me know which team. I asked this question a couple of weeks ago on Facebook, and there were lots of good answers. So please let me know which team you support. Now, just quickly, can you see this picture on your screen? This is the stadium. And 3 parts of the stadium, they have the players on the seats. So you can see how there's a person represented by the seats on the stand. And this is incredible. I love how they do this. And it's a great stadium. And hopefully, we're going to be in the Premier League soon. Okay? So let's just go to the comment section. A few comments are coming in. We can see that Elena says, I support Manchester. Now there are 2 Manchester teams, Manchester United and Manchester City. Manuel says, but don't you support Leicester? Yeah, Leicester, what an incredible story. I gave a lesson on Leicester City winning the league. And I'm going to release a new video on YouTube that talks about this very soon. That was an incredible story, that Leicester City, 5,000 to 1, the odds to win the league. Just incredible. So Murad says, I support Leicester City because the best player in the Premier League is from my country. I think you're talking about... I was going to say someone else. No, you're talking about Riyad Mahrez. Fantastic player. In my opinion, it's nice to relate university and sports. I think it's wonderful, actually. Makes people get the degree, even if they become a professional. I might make a video on this, actually. Really good comment, Alex. Thank you. Because there's a lot of controversy about college sports because they generate a lot of money for the university, but the players don't get paid. And the players get injured. Playing American football is such a tough game. It is high impact, so many injuries. So it's interesting. But as you say, they do help American football players through university. Heidi says, I don't support any team. Sifak says, I support Liverpool. Very good. Anna says, I mean they have bad technique. So going back to people in Russia can't play football, you're talking about the technique. Very cool. Murad says, Mahrez. And Sebastian says, what do you think of Liverpool's campaign in the Europa League? It's been good fun. I've really enjoyed it. Okay, so everybody, for those watching live, for those not watching live, go to fluency.com/fast and you can download this free guide, 7 tips to help you learn English fast. It's free to download. It's a PDF. It's going to give you really practical advice on how you can make faster progress with your English. So just enter your email address and you'll be able to get that for free. Also, please do check out, bear with me everybody, this, How to Learn English, the ultimate guide. You can get the link in the description if you're watching the replay. And this just goes through again, the best ways to learn English so that you become an effective English learner. Let's go back to the comments now and see what people are saying. Mared is the pride of Algeria. Very cool. When is this event finished? In probably 2 minutes. I'm going to go in 2 minutes. So I'm just finishing up now. Anetta says, nice to see you live streaming, Jack. Yeah, I'm doing a lot more of these. I do live lessons on Facebook. I do live lessons on YouTube. And at the moment, I am uploading a video every day to YouTube, an English lesson every day. So guys, please subscribe to this channel. If you haven't subscribed already, just click that button. You're going to get notifications of when I make new English lessons. And I have 2 more favors to ask. So I'm going to close down a couple of things. And then one more comment. Hopefully you can see this. Actually, I'm going to have to bring this up. Okay, Robert says, in Canada, it's rare for anyone to think about soccer, much less have a favourite team. Toronto has a team, but I do not know the name. Soccer is a kid's sport here. Yeah, but in Canada, it is growing. It is growing a lot. I saw some stats on the amount of people who watch games on TV and also at the stadium. It's growing. And it's also the same in the US. It's become really popular now in the US. And I think with a sport, it's like a generational thing. You know, the children have to grow up watching football and then their children, and it takes a lot of time. Okay, so 2 more favors to ask. If you haven't done so already, please give it the thumbs up. And then please share this lesson with your friends by email, Twitter, WhatsApp, Facebook, Google+, VK, or any other site you use. So everybody, thank you so much for being here. If you're watching the replay, again, leave comments below. Let me know what you think of this lesson, and I'll see you guys next time. So thank you for being here.